distant areas from where we are in central Kiev, but still sort of relatively close by. It's not clear the direction in which they're being targeted, or these explosions are taking place. But you can see, as Laura was saying, I mean, this is an absolute shock. I mean, even right up until the last moment, Vladimir Putin, it was assumed or was hoped, would not pull the trigger on this. There was even a last-ditch appeal by President Zelensky of Ukraine. He tried to call the Kremlin and speak to Vladimir Putin, but that, he said, was met with silence. He put out a social media post, which we've been reporting on before this all started to happen, in which he spoke in Russian directly to the Russian people and said, look, you're told that we need to be free, but we're already free. He said, there may be differences between us, but it doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. But that is a message that does not seem to have been heard in Moscow. And with Vladimir Putin making that short statement that he's launched a special operation, military operation in Donbass, he said, which is in the far east of Ukraine, and urging Ukrainian military to put down their weapons. Any bloodshed, again, he said, would be on the hands of the Ukrainian government. But that's also been coupled with these explosions taking place in the Ukrainian capital as well. It is so tense in the city tonight. It's so quiet in Kiev up until these explosions took place. A state of emergency has been imposed across the country. And in Ukraine, what that means is that everybody had to go home by 11 o'clock. It means that people who were in the reserve forces for military service have been banned from leaving the country. And of course, there's been more security put on the outskirts of the city, checkpoints going into the city. Indeed, it may be some of those military checkpoints, who knows, or some of the military defences outside of the city anyway, that may have been targeted with these explosions. Travel installations, transport installations, key government buildings have all got additional security around them. And obviously, it is extremely disturbing to hear these explosions in the darkness, so we can't see exactly what's being hit right now, which direction the explosions are coming from. But it's deeply disturbing about what's taking place in Ukraine right now.
Perhaps you can help me out with this. CNN is getting reporting.
Okay, yeah, so I just stepped away there, Dom, because my producer was telling me that an advisor to the Ukrainian Interior Ministry, who we've just been speaking to, says that the invasion has begun. That was his words. And he said that what we've been hearing, these explosions, are missile strikes. He didn't give any further detail about what has been hit, about what's been targeted. But again, the advisor to the Ukrainian Interior Ministry telling CNN that the invasion has begun, those are his words, and that those explosions that we've been witnessing here in Kiev, the Ukrainian capital, are missile strikes. So there's a development, some clarity perhaps from the Ukrainian side, and their first reaction, as far as I'm aware, to what we are witnessing here in Kiev and what's taking place, it seems, in other parts of the country as well tonight at the hands of Russia.
And there is a delay, so pardon me for as you were getting that information in. And so thank you very much. And I was just talking to Clarissa Ward, and she said exactly, you said